Hello everyone, welcome to week 10 of the Gran Turismo weekly race guide, and first up is Suzuka East. Now let's have a look at the race details first of all. We're racing 7 laps here at Suzuka East, quite a nice number to be honest with you. It's a grid start, sports hard tyres and the usual standard stuff. Now you have a choice of 2 cars, the Toyota GT86 or the Subaru BRZ, so technically you could probably say 1 car, but let's not get into that debate. What we will get into though is the race. Let's jump to that now. I'll talk you through the race, a lap guide which is a bit tricky with 1 braking zone, and also whether you should or shouldn't do it. Here we are then at the start of the grid, and let's see what we all chose. Oh yes, the Toyota with Elizura, the only Subaru driver. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying. Devil has also got a Subaru in there as well. Generally speaking, the Toyota was top of the leaderboards as well, which is why I chose the Toyota GT86. Now, standing start, traction control on 1. No need to worry about braking or anything. Just foot to the floor, off you go. Turn it to 0 before you change to 2nd gear. Now, this is an interesting one, turn 1 Suzuka, especially with grid starts, because you never really want to be on the outside line, so I sort of make that indication quite clear. However, there was nobody on my inside, so down the inside we go. And you can see how Devil just loses out so much there, straight off the bat there. Comes back across, unfortunately, loses out on a position. We gain another position there, and a little bit of contact as the Italian comes back on. However, we're up to P6. Not too bad of a start, really. P Steve, not P6, P Steve, we must remember this. And we've got some side-by-side action with the Italian Psycho there. He's not actually a Psycho, I'm just reading the name. That's all I'm doing as we continue through there. And we survive. I'm not sure what happened behind, but it looks like a little bit of door banging going on there. And I do expect that here. So if you are going to do this race, just be careful of that, because at the start, you're going to be a lot of side-by-side action through the sweeping corners. Hardly any braking there. There will be some mistakes to be had. We make some in this race, and you will see that later on, of course. Now, in terms of turn 1, that is your only braking zone, and we will go into the track guide shortly. But just coming in here now, and you can see me brake, and I'm just going to get used to the car. You see that slight rotation? That's what you're after. The Spaniard in front of me gets it a little bit wrong. We sort of nearly followed the Spaniard. They bring it back on, just avoid us there, and they bring it back sensibly. And let's go into a track guide then. So how do we do turn 1 exactly? Well, you're looking for that tarmac piece on the left hand side. You're braking just before that, and you sort of want to get, if you can, get the car rotated a little bit or keep it sort of flat. Now you just want to trail brake all the way to the corner. You notice I get a bit of rotation there, but you notice I'm just dabbing the brake on and off slightly there, only up to 50%, and then I get round and I stay in them 3rd gear. 3rd gear is your best friend here, as you will see. As we come through here, it's all about just lifting and balancing the car, using the throttle. Again, we've not touched the brake here at all yet. Again, just bringing that throttle down, then back up again, and then down. Just letting the car use the curb, and then back up again, staying in 3rd gear. Up the sweeping left here, and then you really want to have like a nice slatting for the right hander here, and you just let off. Let the car roll. Bring it to the inside. There's a little bit of a dip here. You just see that there, and then continue on. If you don't hit that dip, there's a chance you will understeer like you saw me do at the end of lap 1. So as you can see, we're on lap 4 there. We're going to advance to lap 5 now. Not much happened in this race. You see on the track map, it really has spread out very quickly, and that's just because, racing here is actually quite hard. So I wouldn't recommend doing this race if you're after some racing, but in terms of, some racing action, you can have the odd piece, and we're about to see some here. So Bishop just runs slightly wide there, so we go on the inside of Bishop. We've just got a slight run here. However, Bishop has got a little bit of slipstream there off Willow, so in we go, and we just brake a little bit earlier than normal here because we're side by side with the Brit. Now the Brit managed to do a little nice Moses maneuver there in between Willow, who made a mistake there, and me giving space on the inside, so well played to Bishop there. And what we are going to do then is see if we can get past Bishop into P3, so we're just going to fast forward a little bit here. Notice it's staying status quo, and unfortunately Bishop gets the better run out the corner here. Head towards turn 1 then. Once again, in we go. Trying to get that slight rotation and trying to get the car stopped and round so we get a good run. Bishop runs slightly too deep here. So we're going to have a run on Bishop here. Now you can see that here. I make my intentions clear there. But Bishop goes to turn in. Maybe didn't realise. I don't know. It is my fault. At the end of the day, I am the overtaking car. So I did apologise after this. I was thinking about all the way through the section, where could I pull over? And at this point, I was just like, well, there's no point. Bishop's gone to P7. it's a daily race. It means nothing in reality. So I did apologise after, of course. I did show my intention, but a bit too far back, I would say, for that move. So yeah, it is what it is. I made a mistake. We move on from it. We all make mistakes, and we continue on then. So a P3, but not the greatest of P3s, let's be honest with you. And as I say, I did apologise to Bishop afterwards. But in terms of the race, you are going to see a lot of moves like that. People going for the dive down the inside. So just be careful of that if you do daily race A. But that is going to be it for A. We're now going to go to another track I absolutely love. And as you can see, it's Dragontrail Seaside, but in reverse. And why do I love this track so much? It has one of the best overtaking corners in the game, in my opinion. But we'll get to that shortly. Let's jump to the race details first of all. We're racing 4 laps here at Dragontrail Seaside 2. It's a rolling start, and we are on racing medium tyres. Everything else is status quo, and as you can see, Group 3 cars are in for the action. Now, there is only one Group 3 car to go for here, apparently, in terms of the time trial, and that's the Supra. So that's what I went for. There were a few other cars in the race. So let's jump to the race then. I'll talk you through some tips, tricks, a lap guide, and whether I die at the chicane of death. Here we are then at the start. So look, Supra, 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 a Beetle, Supra, 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 Supra. And then we have the odd car at the back, of course, which is kind of nice to see. But the Supra is a very good car here. When I tried it out in time trial just beforehand, and in this race as well, it is a superb car. It is very stable, so I would recommend a Supra in terms of this race. It is a good car choice and probably why it is top of the boards. Now, rolling start, nice and easy here, no corners to worry about. And we are going to do, as we always do with Daily Race B, go straight into the track guide as we follow Consta into turn 1. So, heading down the hill on the right hand side, you're looking for that curb right there on the outside there. To start the curb, nice and easy, use that as your brake marker. Put on the anchors and into the corner we go. So I dropped to 3rd gear here. You do want to clip the apex there, it'll just bring you around a little bit. Just be careful of the exit there, as I get a little bit too much oversteer as we continue out of that corner now and head under the bridge towards the chicane of death. Now, this corner you don't really want to brake for it, you want to lift and let the car turn and do its own thing here. Now, in terms of where you lift, you have this curb here, and you can see I've lifted as well. So you want to lift and then start to turn in. Some people were braking for this, which was catching me out because in time trial you definitely don't brake for it. And through there you just see a barrier hit there, and I'll explain about the braking a little bit later on. Consta had to slow down here, so I'm going to go for the move down the inside of Consta. But in terms of the braking mark here, again, curbs are your best friend. To start the curb on the right hand side, use that as your brake marker. Now, in terms of braking, because we're on a corner, and this is my favourite corner, honestly, you want to brake in hard on a straight line, and then trail brake as you start to turn. Remember the saying that I always say, while it's not quite fully accurate, but just think of it this way, tyres and wheels can only do 100% of something. So if you're 100% braking, they can't turn. If you're doing 50% braking, they can do 50% turning. That's the best way to look at the wheels. Now, through the S's, it's all about just lifting, dropping the gears, potentially to get turning. And if you can clip on the inside of the curb, it will help you out just that teeny tiny little bit. Alright, heading down here, guess what? Your curb's your best mate again, as we look on the inside of Zulu as well. But the start of the curb, 100 metre board around that sort of area, that is your brake marker for this left-hander. Nice and easy, but we're going to go on the brakes here. Zulu gives me loads of room, like a fortnight of room. Thank you so much, Zulu. Very much appreciated, but you could close the gap a little bit more there, mate, my friend. Right, we're going to continue on, and we're going to head up to the top of the hill, which, once again, the curb is nearly your friend. You want to brake just after the curb starts, but well before the pink bit that you can see a bit further on there. That is your brake marker for this corner. So you're going to brake, and you're going to want to keep it tight on the first part to give you a really nice line for the second part. Because if you do it the opposite way around and go a bit too deep, you're going to compromise this entire start-finish straight. And it's here where the critical time is. It is here. If you can nail that last corner, you're going to gain so much time. We see up ahead the Supra having a move on Cuba there in the Mazda. We've heard enough of that Mazda for 1 week, that's for sure. So into the braking zone we go. We actually give Cuba now a fortnight of room, so copying what Zulu did. But it's nice to have some clean racing, you know. Everyone being very gentlemanly. It's all nice and dandy, but Cuba gets that... keeps that position for now as we head once again to this chicken as we see a yellow flag. So we know what's happened here then. As everyone goes on the anchors quite quickly there. Supra really slowed down there with a treble and Cuba broke, and I didn't brake enough in my opinion. So we just tapped Cuba. The good news is on the old penalty system we would have actually got a penalty there, but fortunately we didn't. So, you know, there are some good aspects to this penalty system. So, thankfully, we all continue racing. Nobody died, except the 2 people that did actually die at the chicane, and we continue on. So we'll look down the move, or look for the move down the inside of Cuba here. So we showed our nose early, but we're going to back out of that. It's really hard to get the move done here on these corners without tyre wear or something being in there as well. But through we go. Just running a little bit wide there. You've got to be so careful of that exit. So Trevor just gets that slightly wrong. Cuba down the inside here. And I could not believe the brakes on that Mazda. So if I hit the Mazda, I would have absolutely punted Cuba. So I tried to go to the right a little bit. I hit Trebor there. Trebor survives though. I did apologise after for that one. And I lose a position because of it. I was always going to lose a position. I was never going to take that position of Trebor there. So we all continue racing. It's all fine and dandy. This was a fantastic, enjoyable race. I've got to say, I'll be doing more of this week, folks. So do keep an eye out for that. Consta trying to go down the outside of Trebor there, the Swede. That was an interesting move, but job done in the 650S. And we're going to look for the move on Trebor as well. So head in. Oh, I've just noticed. With a cursed number, P. Steve on our bonnet. Oh no! Anyway, in towards the braking zone we go. The Swede down the inside, so we're going to try and find a way past somebody, and we don't. We fail that absolutely miserably, but this is a good race. You know, I'm showing you a lot of the race here because it is good racing, and I think you can have some fantastic racing here. So I would highly recommend doing Daily Race B if I'm honest, and that is why this thumbnail has the thumbs up as well. So through we go, and we go much slower through there. You do that easily 10 miles an hour quicker. I was tempted to see, or I was excited to see whether we got a penalty for that cut, and we didn't. So that's just a bit of information there for you. Down the inside of Consta. This is my favourite corner, by the way. I love it. It's amazing. It's unique in Gran Turismo, in my opinion. Superb corner in the game. Right, we're going to look for the move on Trebor now. The Swede there leaves a little bit of a gap open there, of a supersized gap. So once again, we try this move. Just shows you it doesn't really work because they then have the inside line for this one. So really all I'm doing there is costing us time. But Trebor does run deep into the left-hander here, so we're going to have a really nice run through the left-hander there. And where they're going to go, we decide to go to the left. We were just deciding where to go there. Into the braking zone we go. And the Swede gives us plenty of space, and we also pay the same respect there. And they just lose a rear, looks like, on the radar there, on the exit. And we continue up into P10. Happy days, happy days indeed. Into the corner we go, again keeping it tight on the inside, using that curve to our advantage. Once again, accelerating out of there because we gave ourselves a really nice line. Anyway, we're going to fast forward a little bit here as we catch up to Cuba once again. In towards the chicane we go. Who's died this time in the chicane? Oh no. Oh.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Anyway, let's reverse that back a little bit, right? Because I want to show you why that happened. So you notice here, I was braking in the chicane as I was turning. That caused me understeer. So if you're braking as you turn, and it's a perfect example of understeer here, you're going to understeer off, and that is what happened. I couldn't really bring it back. I was either understeering to the right or understeering to the left at that point. Never brake as you're turning on the chicane. Maybe a tiny bit of brake, but 50% was way too much. Oh my word, look at that. I forgot about the barrier collision. We got a penalty. Oh, the Swedes died there, unfortunately. We got a penalty for dying. I mean, that's full meme there. Full meme. But we're going to advance towards the end now. 1.5 seconds. We're 4.2 seconds ahead of Gashimino. So we're going to see what that does in terms of time. So that's 1.5 seconds gone already. 2 seconds gone. So it nearly cost us 2.5 seconds. 1.5 second, 2.5 second penalty. Be careful about penalties then on this circuit. But that's going to be it for race B. A fun one, this one, and I highly recommend it. Let's head then to race C. Welcome to a track that I would call a little bit hellish. Now, where are we? We're at Autopolis, which is never normally my favourite track, I've got to be honest. However, this week could be slightly different. Let's jump to the race details first of all. We're racing 10 laps here at Autopolis. It's a rolling start. We have to use both the soft and medium tyre, fuel usage times 3, tyre wear times 6, all nice and easy. And you can see in the background we're in the Megane trophy. The Megane seems to be the go-to car at the moment. Although top of the time trials, as I film this right now, is the 4C, and you will notice a few other cars in the race do fairly well. And there is some good racing in this, so sit back, relax, stay tuned for some racing, some strategy, some mean moments again, of course, and the track guide. Here we are then at the start. Oh look, Megane Trophy, Megane Trophy. I'm assuming it's because of the tyre wear, to be honest with you. We do have some Subarus. We've got a 4C as well. We've got two 4Cs. We've got two Subarus, two 4Cs. But mainly Megane Trophies. So you can see it's the go-to car at the moment in time. And it's quite a good car to race with, actually, here at Autopolis. It suits it very nicely. You could have some form of Megane Cup, technically. I think it would work very well. So you see our brake balance on 2 there. If you are interested in brake balance, as always, check out the description. We say it every single week. It's always in the description, but brake balance is normally personal preference. I go 2 here. Technically, with the way I do my strategy, I should have gone 3 probably. But anyway, we'll get to that a little bit later on. So you can see the rolling start there. We start on the corner, but it's not too bad in the Megane Trophy. Other cars may suffer, so just be careful there. Heading towards turn 1 then, straight into a lap guide, and on the right side we are looking for the white van man. He has returned, but you're braking just before that. You can see here I've just put on the anchors just before the white van man, but that's your marker. Use that to your heart's content, and we're going to clip the curb here. You'll also notice we started on the medium tyre because yeah, we're starting near the back, so it's the standard strategy when you're near the back. As we head towards turn 2, we're not going to use the tarmac this time. We're going to use the 50-metre board in the Megane Trophy. It can brake that much later. It's a little bit slower on the straights, but it's perfect at handling and can brake that much later. So we're using the 50-metre board on the left-hand side there. And you're going to clip the apex, or try to at least, and stay in 3rd gear here. As we roll round, roll, and we're going to go to somebody's brother. Yes, it's White Van Man's brother on the right-hand side as they park. Once again, a beautiful marker that you can use as your brake. You want to brake in a straight line here, folks, as well, so make sure you're straight before you hit the brakes, and then try and get a little bit of rotation there as we did. Through we go, and we are catching Icarus up ahead. They were... Oh yeah, flying Icarus. They flew too close to the sun, right? Anyway, in towards the left. This isn't a braking marker. This is more lift off and turn in. So when you hit this curb, lift off, turn in, potentially drop a gear as well. We suffer with weight and dirty air here, which is why we understeer a little bit. But you can see how the corner works. Lift off, turn in, you should be golden. Heading towards the sharp hairpin then at the top of this hill. On the right side, I've highlighted both the 50-metre board and the marshal box. I was using the marshal box here. If the 50-metre board is more your preference, use that. I was using the marshal box just before it, hitting the brakes, and then drop into 2nd gear, trying to keep it tight, and then on exit, accelerating out, using all the track where I can. And see Will's on the far left here. Heading down the hill then, on the right side, you see that pole. That is what we're going to use here on the right side. That's what I always use here. It's a brilliant marker. I recommend it. If you ever go to a Autopolis and I've not done a guide, just pick out that pole for this corner. You should be pretty much golden. In we go. Clip the corner, or curb should I say, and then try not to run too wide. We'll have a look at that later on. This is all about balancing the car now, as you see a 4C go off there. And when I say balance, you're just coming into each corner and then softly brake in here for this right-hander. Again, it's soft brakes, rolling the car, keeping the car balanced, clipping the curb again. And again, for this left-hander, just lift off. I did dab the brake a little bit here, but you can just lift off, roll through the corner. And then in towards the left, we get... left? So right. On the left, though, is this curb. To start the curb, you then want to use this as your turn-in marker. I know a few of you have asked for turn-in markers. It's essentially there, that curb. You want to turn in. You notice we missed it a little bit here. But if we'd have turned in a little bit sooner, we would have clipped the curb. And you want to stay tight as possible. And as you go through this corner, notice the piece of tarmac I've highlighted here. That is your acceleration point there. So if you use that, so when you spot it, hit your gas pedal or your accelerator, whatever you want to call it, and you should fly out the corner. Happy days. And that is that for a track guide. Let's advance a bit further on then. As you see, Icarus has flown by the bear there. So in towards the hairpin we're going to go. You can see it's getting a bit congested here. So the medium tyre definitely was the right choice here in this situation. Lots of cars up ahead. And, you know, if we're on the mediums, we're not losing too much. I did notice, actually, we weren't losing too much to the leaders here. Now, I know the leader, P1, is on the mediums. I don't know about everybody else up ahead. As we did look to try and get past Fox Bear. Not going to happen in this situation. Fox Bear goes for a risky move down the outside. And I'm not sure what happens here with Flying Icarus. It just sort of understeers off, potentially. I'm not too sure. Unfortunately, Fox Bear comes flying back on and hits us. Give him a little flash, say, oi, we're not happy with that. But we carried on. I'm not sure how much they could have solved that or not. I don't know. I didn't check the replay afterwards. So at this point, I'm like, is a risky strategy available to us? Is a funky one-stop available to us? There's only one way to find out. No, yeah, we're not doing Harry Hill, are we? Anyway, we continue on through here, and we're going to come into the pits now. I decided last second, let's just try it. Let's just see if it works. In we go, and yeah, we pull a Lightning here, and yeah, pleb it into the pits at Autopolis. If you don't know what I'm talking about, World Tour, Lightning accidentally did that as well. So, you know, the best in the world can do it, we can do it, you can do it. It's all golden. And when I say best in the world, I mean Lightning, not me here, folks. Anyway, we continue on out here, and you can see we've lost a significant amount of time there. It was 11 seconds in, 32 out, so that's 21 seconds. Pretty sure that's what it was anyway. You can see how much time we've gained, actually, in a lap. On the leaders there, 2 seconds, so you know, you see the advantage. And look how many people we're jumping here. We jumped Wind, we jumped Zach, who was much further ahead of us, and we're actually closing in on Keddy here as we come into turn 1 then. So we gain a significant amount of time here, but does it pay off? That's the question. You see, Keddy puts hazards on, and throughout the next few laps, keeps putting the hazards on occasionally, and I have no idea what it means, Keddy. You need to let me know what it means, because I have no idea. Usually it means you're letting somebody pass. As you see, we've jumped Will here now as we advance a bit further on as we approach turn 1. And let's see what we can do versus Keddy then, the Swiss driver. So through we go. And where's Keddy going? See, hazards on again. So to me, this means you're letting me go. But you go defensive here, so I was getting very confused. I didn't want to fight at this moment in time because I knew up ahead there were some people on mediums. So you started on softs and they got to mediums. As through we go then. And we were the earliest of the soft of the medium runners to pit as well, remember. We pitted on the end of lap 2. Lap 2. And you can see our tyres in the bottom left. They're not too shabby in the grand scheme of it. They really aren't. So, is it worthwhile? I think this race is about strategy. I think it's all about traffic. Can you avoid traffic? As you see here, we're in a fight with Keddy. But earlier on, we were in a pack of like 8 cars. And that was really slowing us down, so it was worthwhile for us to do that. And you can see we're fighting here for P9 at the moment. As Keddy on the inside. Giving us lots of room, though. It is a good race. I was just very confused with the hazards, as I say. I had no idea what they meant there, mate. And you see that, I think the hazards are on there again. In towards the right we go. I'm not going to make a move there. So I'll just back out of it for now. And in towards the right we go. Again, this section, I say it every time we race here, it's all about balancing the car. You don't want to brake too much, especially because we pitted so early. We are looking after our tyres as well. Now, when I said, should I have gone to +3? I really should have in this situation, because later on in the stint, you'll see my front tyres do take a bit of a battering. So it is worth +3 in this situation. I wouldn't go further than +3. Quinton mentioned, and I've seen it as well now, anything higher than +3 really generates understeers, so you sort of lose out and actually cause more tyre wear. We get a good run through that last corner here on Keddy though. So where's Keddy going to go? Going to go to the left, so we're going to go to the right. I see another person coming out the pits up ahead. I didn't see who that was. It looks like a Spaniard there, Augustin. In towards the braking zone we go. White van man is our marker, and we get it stopped beautifully. We just slow down a little bit on the apex there, because we went a tiny bit deep, but yeah, stopping on the apex actually meant we kept the position. We've had to be a bit further up ahead, where we're up against Unterschnitt, and they're on the medium tyres. I didn't know that. I could see that quite quickly as we caught them up very quickly. You can see that there as well. Clipping that grass is, you've got to be very careful about doing that. So you can see our front tyres are getting a bit worn here now, but you know, it's still working well. We're still faster than the medium runners. Will goes for a good opportunistic move here. I had to slam on there to avoid hitting the German. So Will round the outside. Will pitted 3 laps later than me, I think, on the soft tyres. So going to have significantly more grip. So I wasn't going to fight that too much. I was hoping to use it to my advantage. Keddy also being very opportunistic here, trying to follow Will through. Not going to quite work here. I'm on the outside, in towards the inside, and we continue racing again here. We do need to advance a bit further on though. So let's fast forward this a little bit. Right behind the German again, in towards the rights and lefts. And then around the outside, that's not going to work there. So here we go then, the fast left, here we go, where I say lift. And turn in, we're accelerating a little bit there. That's because we're on the softer tyre. And let's see what the German does now. So the German goes to the right, so we're going to go to the left. See Will's doing the same thing. And it looks like the Spaniards had a bit of an issue there. Oh, under braking, maybe locked up, I'm not too sure. When I say locked up, just the rear's just coming out there, so inefficient braking rather than locked up. But we gained 2 positions up into P8. That's not too shabby at all. I enjoyed this race. I really did enjoy this race. Let's see if we can advance towards P Steve then, where Antimix was. Now Blue Racer and Zocco are, and Will in P5, but with a penalty. So you can see we did catch up to some of the early soft runners here, and I think with some of the incidents, you know, the incident with Fox Bear potentially, we did catch up to the pack though again. Does it really count? I don't think so. You know, fighting with Keddy quite a lot. Could we have gained an advantage there? Not too sure. But, you know, we have quite a good strategic race and some good racing in there. So actually, unusually for me, Autopolis gets a thumbs up here. Now you can see Zocca up ahead. Zocca does stream, so you can check out Zocca. Zocca streams in the afternoon on the Monday. And Zocca was probably streaming at this moment in time. Now, in terms of other streams that are happening right now, I've put one on the screen. I'm not sure who's streaming tonight, so there is one there for you. And another video there if you want to watch another one of my videos. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. But do leave a like if you did like this video. And that is going to be it for me now, folks. I hope you did enjoy. I will see you again very soon.